Welcome back to the Comic Cave. I'm Bo.
I'm Michael.
And every week we're going to give you in-depth of news. Because we found out there's a lack of it in comic books and stories. So tonight on the news, we'll talk first off about Spawn, Watchmen, The Tick, and of course the Defenders. So tonight we'll start off with Spawn. Latest on Spawn.
Todd McFarlane announced he is writing Spawn movie, producing, directing. The script's finished. He said he will be directing the movie himself, and he had a hard time getting that pushed through with the studios because a $80 million movie is hard to get approved when you have a director who's never done it before.
He's only doing it for $80 million?
$10 million. Because
$10 million?
they wanted to do it for $80 million because of what they could do with Spawn, and he said he could do it for $10 million because Spawn is not necessarily going to be in it. He said he wants him hiding in the shadows. You can hear the wisp of the cape, but not actually show up. So I'm not sure how.
How's that going to work? I don't find this is going to be. This is not going to be Spawn. This is going to be. You might as well call this a ghost spirit movie. Mm-hmm. That's what I feel. Get the feeling of from him. Maybe he's going to overwhelm us with some great directing. I don't know. That's. I find this hard to believe.
Yeah. He said he was pushing for a hard R rating. Didn't want the same crowd that Marvel and DC had. He wanted to attract people who.
He wanted the Deadpool crowd.
Deadpool crowd.
Yeah.
The Deadpool crowd and people going to see a horror movie. So.
He would do the same crowd that would have done Batman and Superman if they released the extended version, which was rated R.
Right.
So, okay. Well, we'll see with that. Alright, the next on the list is going to be The Tick. Amazon decided to pick that up for additional 6 episodes, I think we read. And the first episode, the pilot was really good, did a good comedy, a lot of newer actors that you haven't seen out there, and the guy playing the Tick is actually doing a really good job. Only downfall, I think, is his size. He is not as big as the Tick, and if y'all don't realize, the Tick is an old comic from the 80s. Boston, what was the name of the comic book? I can't remember the name of that comic book company anyway, but it was from Boston, I know that much.
What, he's around 7 foot tall.
7 foot tall, 400 pounds in the comics.
In the shows, average maybe 6 foot, 200 pound guys.
Maybe not even 200 pounds, but the same guy, he was in Guardians of the Galaxy and a few other, Doctor Who. He's been he's been a really accomplished actor. Wish I could remember his name, but I'll remember it later, unfortunately. But so far, though, the comedy's spot on. You can tell it was in early stages of writing. Hopefully they get better. It had its moments of just not that good, but then it has moments of really good. You can tell it was just a pilot episode. So hopefully the future episodes will be a lot better. And I'm glad Amazon actually picked that up, because they did have a poll of 3 different shows they were doing of which one would you rather see, and the Tick, I guess, won, or they just decided to do all 3. Who knows? Because I don't even remember what the other 2 were. I didn't watch them. All right. Next up is going to be The Defenders. I don't know what we can say about that other than awesome.
The trailer looks a lot better for it than it did for Inhumans by a long shot.
Poor Inhumans.
Yes.
But you can tell the Netflix has a bigger budget than ABC, and which is sad. ABC is ran by Disney. You would think the same company that owns ESPN, that has a multi-billion-dollar budget for sports, could give some for the TV shows. Right now, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. has a better looking budget than the Inhumans. Maybe it'll get better. Who knows? But The Defenders. I love all 4 of the episodes of or 4 of the other characters' shows. 2 of Daredevil, 1 of Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist. Now, only downfall I did have of Jessica Jones, Luke Cage, and Iron Fist is how slow they started out. Now, The Defenders, I've heard, is going to be 8 episodes or 9 episodes. Shorter version, not the 13 normally that they do. So we're going to see if they get right into the action. I do like Sigourney Weaver being in it. That is actually a plus. So, and it's coming within 2 to 3 August?
I think it's in August. Yeah.
August. So hopefully that will actually, so far I've liked the other episodes, the other shows. So it's going to be good.
And hopefully with the shorter runtime,
we'll get right to the action.
Yeah, a lot faster paced, not as boring, dragged out.
Yeah, definitely, because Luke Cage, I love Luke Cage and I liked Iron Fist. And Jessica Jones was just creepy. Because the guy that played Kilgrave from Doctor Who, was one of the doctors from Doctor Who, was just awesome. But the beginning 2 to 3 episodes, I was bored, I'm not going to lie. So hopefully Defenders with a shorter one, we'll get better into that. Last on the list is something I think we all been really needing.
Probably what I'm most excited for.
The Watchmen. Now, the movie that came out some years ago was at
09 maybe?
09 or 08, I can't remember the exact date. It literally was print for print of the graphic novel.
Right. Just finished rereading the graphic novel a week or so ago. I was telling him, panel for panel through the book, scene for scene, the movie was exactly the same.
Which was good, but it was also misunderstood by the public. They didn't catch it. Most fanboys that loved Watchmen, like me, was all over it. It was good. It did have its moments. You can tell some bad directing in it. It is what it is. But HBO picking up the series, I'm actually happy about, because HBO, off the common, off the other episodes, other shows they've done, I've noticed there's a no holds bar. They will do what they got to do to keep the show going, and they don't care who they kill off.
Right. And not restricted by rating, where we can't do this or we can't do
that.
You can
Right.
do whatever the need to be.
And HBO has a nice sized budget.
Right.
That's they always give their all. Game of Thrones, which everybody loves, the budget's amazing. I'm hoping that same budget applies to the Watchmen.
Right.
Now, here's what I'm most excited about. I don't know how many of these are true or if it's what it is, but this is the hearsay of possible actors for each character. Rorschach, who was the actor for that?
Charles Baker, Skinny Pete from Breaking Bad, favorite character from the show, hands down.
I actually love Breaking Bad.
Me too.
I've been going back and watching that on Netflix. Did they get rid of that off Netflix? I gotta go back and see.
I got it on DVD.
No, that's awesome. Alright, next up would be Dr. Manhattan. He's the second, most notable character on there, and that is Corey Stoll, if I mispronounced that name. All I can tell is from the picture, I've not seen much work from this guy, but he looks like Dr. Manhattan. So if this is true, good choice. I think it's a good character. Next, Silk Spectre, which in the movie, I actually liked the character that played, the lady that played that character.
Yeah,
I can't remember her name.
Job.
Yeah, she did a really good job. She kind of fit it. I don't know how much Linda is going to do this, if that is the one that's playing it, but she looks like Silk Spectre. They get, but that is, if it's true, who is going to play it. This is all, assuming or hearsay. This is coming through the wire news. Night Owl. Who we have on Night Owl there?
David Harbour.
I don't know.
Not sure.
Not sure.
He is.
We'll find out. Night Owl in the original, guy played the Night Owl in the original movie. I wasn't fond of. His acting wasn't that good. It's like he played Clark Kent.
Yeah.
From like he played the original Clark Kent from the 1978, 77 Superman. That's what it felt like.
Yeah.
Really did feel like that. Less Batmanish, more Clark Kent. So.
And then for Ozymandias, Neil Patrick Harris.
I hope that's true.
I did too. Perfect fit, in my opinion.
Because the world's smartest man needs to be played by someone who can be the world's smartest man.
Right.
To have that persona. That's a good choice.
Every character he plays, movie, TV, knocks it out of the park.
I loved him in Harold Kumar.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, that was so awesome. So, alright, who was else left on there? The comedian is, we're scrolling who's the comedian. This one, I'm kind of, I hope this is, he doesn't remember much, but Ray Liotta. Goodfellas. I can name a ton of movies, but Ray Liotta has always had a creepy vibe to him. He is a scary individual to watch him.
And comedian is scary.
Scary individual.
Yeah.
Right. Now, everybody's going to say, the original guy that played Deuce and plays Negan now, and he was Thomas Wayne.
Batman v Superman.
Right. He looked like the comedian. He was the size of the comedian. But Ray Liotta fits that craziness, I think, more than he did. So hopefully that'll turn out to be better. That right there in itself is going to be kind of cool. That and Neil Patrick Harris,
Yes.
that combination, I think. And then with HBO's budget and HBO's no characters, not safe.
Mhm.
Who's going to be the first one killed off?
Yeah.
The comedian's obviously in the book, and then Rorschach was later, which was the saddest scene of any of
Yes.
the graphic novels of
I
Rorschach,
agree.
of Dr. Manhattan destroying
I cried
Rorschach.
a little bit.
Yes, I think a lot of people did.
Yeah. I think with HBO's budget, they can afford all these actors, unlike if it was on ABC or CW.
And one thing we did notice going through the whole list of characters, possible characters, and people playing these possible characters, they didn't stick with the current 1980s timeline. They actually went back with the Minutemen and the beginning of the Watchmen, where if you watch the movie, because most people didn't read the graphic novel, but you watch the movie, it always Rorschach gave a detailed history of the past of the Watchmen, and the Minutemen, how each one died, which one went through their personal trials and tribulations, and it looks like they're going to do a lot of back flashbacks to the past, or they're going to start from the past. Who knows? But they do have each character from the old ones listed.
I think it would be cool if they started with the Minutemen and worked their way up.
Or did a current one and always flashback to
Right.
the same situation the Minutemen handled it, or the older version of the Minutemen.
Right.
And that would be awesome. So, but this just was announced a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
So
All rumor, nothing fact. I just really hope this is facts for this. So no information on duration, how many seasons, if it's a one shot, one and done thing, or
no on
continuous.
HBO, because I don't know how long they ran True Blood.
Yeah, yeah.
They ran past the books, So we'll find out. And as always, this is a Comic Cave with the news. You have a good night.
Yeah.